Yes, people, it's that time. It's the derby weekend. I don't know why every weekend it has to be a Manchester and North London derby all the time, but it is what it is. This is Never a Foul. Welcome to Never a Foul. If you haven't been here, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. If not, you know my saying by now. If you don't know what I usually say, go back on the previous video and go check it. But other than that, I'm going to be joined by my co-host soon, very soon, while he does his thing. Actually, no, he's doing his thing now. Man, like that.
I'm trying to multitask just like you, bro. I'm trying to be like you.
It's just trying to be like me, man. Big up anyone that's here in the comments as well. If you haven't, obviously, as I said, do like the video because we got a big panel today, massive panel. You're going to see them a little bit later on if you do tune into that too. But first and foremost, what time is it, Daps?
Time for the intro, baby.
Yeah, and we're back just like that, man. Not in no rush, or are we? But who knows? But anyways, big up Sid in the comments. He said, big up, guys. Manchester Derby stream yesterday was fantastic. The Chelsea fan, for anyone that don't know. Brianna's in the building too. Say,
yes, Brianna.
To be hottest, I think she meant to say honest, typo maybe. Unless she called me the hottest. I don't mind that, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, he says, I just want to see a game with goals, although part of my things already in this season, neither side wants to lose as they see each other as the true league rivals. And obviously big up Mo as well. So it's going to be an epic game on. And big up Jarvis, who's just tuned in. He says, a big up guys and gals. Hope you're all Jarvis. Doing okay. Yes, Jarvis. But, oh yeah, and Sean, big up M as well. Says, big up guys, Prem football is back. It's about time. It's been a long time.
I think that's one of the other things we need to talk on. Well, not talk on now, but the one thing everyone needs to remember, like this is the thing. We've been without football. I felt it. I know you felt it, Cass. We've both felt it massively, yeah. So I know YouTube's felt it. Trust me, YouTube has felt it. Man, the algorithms have felt it. Unless you're sidemen, and then you don't really feel much. I think the algorithms they've completed.
So. they've literally completed YouTube big time. So first and foremost, might as well bring in our
how are we going to do it though? Right,
I'm bringing in the home team. Well, home team at the Emirates, where they haven't lost to Arsenal in about 12 years. Tottenham, sorry. To Tottenham in about 12 years, by the way. So it's going to be a difficult game, but things can always change. You never know. But see, I like to take pride in this because when it was Man United v Arsenal, I said Arsenal haven't won in at that time 16 years at Old Trafford. So these stats are relevant. But the first guest I'm going to bring in is no other than the guy that's his features on Never Foul all the time. He's got a vibrant personality. He triggers a lot of man. George, you know what he's like as well. Oh, did I just give that one away? But big up Guna Lee in the building.
And the other thing with Lee, yeah, as well as being family tree, yeah, is we don't know what we're going to get with this guy, right? Because generally you think you're going to get this lead that comes out and uber confident, but then all of a sudden he'll come on like some mad humble one. It's like, bro,
yeah, listen.
I don't know how to take you.
Today, I think it's going to be pretty obvious what I'm coming through with. Right. It's the North London derby, man. And firstly, I wanted to say, big up that intro. That intro's sick, by the way. That intro is absolutely sick. I'm loving the little dub plate as well, man. Loving that little dub plate. Yeah, no. Listen, I appreciate you guys having me on. And guys, please make sure you smash that like, man. Smash that like for real.
And nice. one other thing, every single panel member we've got in here, their description. Their Instagram, their Twitter, and their YouTube channel is in the description. So people, please make sure you show some love and subscribe to them, follow them. That covers all three, I think. Yeah. There we go.
Next guy, I think this is I would like to call it more of an official debut on Never a Foul. I don't think we've actually had him properly, as far as I know. Not with me, anyways. It's kind of mental.
Yeah, because he's a friend of the channel as well. Yeah, I chat with him regular. I've been on shows with him before, but we've never actually officially had him on as part of the panel, which is mad.
Well, it's a good thing that he's well, he kind of just gave it away. You could say he's a bit of a TikTok Arsenal football legend right there in here, just live and direct. I don't know if he's going to come with his antics. Maybe he's going to have something fresh. I have no idea what this guy's going to say because this guy, there's two things in this world that this guy hates, Tottenham and Harry Maguire. So might as well put him on there right now. Boots, what we saying?
What's good? What's good? That intro was big, man. I felt like a boxer coming into the ring, bruv. Sick. Big up the guys, man. Yeah, man. I'm here for the smoke, man. Let's see what these Tottenham man are saying, innit?
You do hate, and you know what? Real talk, you do hate. Like the first time I ever came across.
People always say this, man.
Bro,
I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm an Arsenal fan. I always will hate Tottenham. Like,
bro, are you
you're
still going at
bro,
Patrick the same?
in their head. I hate Tottenham.
But are you still going at Patrick this season, or are you laying off him a little bit for now?
Yeah, every now and again, but I've just dominated him, innit? Ratioed him. I don't think he wants to be there. I've got too much in the locker. I'll be real. Hold tight,
Patrick, man. They didn't want to come through today because he knows he's going to catch him.
All right, listen.
You heard the news, innit? You heard the news. Man was on, yeah? Right, then.
To be fair, it would have been perfect to get everyone, but we got two other perfect guests to just fight at the corner of Tottenham, the white corner, the navy blue corner. No racist things intended if anyone said anything about white. But this guy here, I featured with him. Me and Daps have featured him on the Coppish channel. You could say he's very accomplished on YouTube itself. He knows it. He ain't got a big head either, or does he?
Nah, fully.
But he's not arrogant fully. But he will absolutely back his team to the grave and back.
And follows them across land and sea as well, man.
Yeah. He's got an amazing last name. I don't know if that's actually
You're
his
in
last
love with
name.
his last name, bro.
Because you know what it is, yeah? I will tell you why. Before I do it, he's on the road to 80,000 subscribers. His last name is Achilles, and my favorite legend of all time in history is Achilles. So that's why Achilles is a bad boy name. Isn't that right, George?
Smashed it. That's exactly how you pronounce it.
Well, I'm you Achilles Hill. I'm you Achilles Hill, Casper.
Nah. Yeah, I think Man City got Spurs for that, so you know. We'll say that for later this season.
Okay. You've never been like this on Coppish. You've never been like this on Coppish.
You just have to come with the smoke. I'm ready.
He's got that likable face, but he always comes with those 30 lines, man. I know George, man.
It's just like
a bit like Lewis,
little jab, and then whoa, I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No disrespect, but
yeah.
And last but not least, man, like. Well, how can I say? I've never actually spoke to him before on a live, but all I can say he's very old school. And I'm telling you now, with these old school guys, there's no way you're going to put disrespect on them because long day, if you know any man from London are old school, he's going to fight Spurs' corner, very active. Actually, I've seen one of his shows. He's on the one up top. He's just literally I think he's trying to get a little bit back into YouTube, but this is a way to express himself and his team. Big up Jacob. Welcome to Never Foul, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, guys. It's mad because, like, I'm appreciative of you not bringing me on because I've watched each and every one of you on YouTube and that, and you all speak facts. So it's good to get on here. And I've been off YouTube for a little while, but like the first opportunity I get is a North London derby. I don't get better than that, to be fair. So nice one.
That's why it's like Boots, isn't it? The first show is going to be a North London derby. What a way to kick it off, man, and show off your personalities. If they're good or not, I don't know. 100%. You lot can agree in the comments. Big up some people in the comments, by the way. You're already doing this is a mad prediction, but someone said 9-0 Arsenal for life.
So someone's been watching the sideline match and just, getting a bit heavy with the score.
Someone's been playing FIFA.
And confident and keep high for that one, man. I don't know about that one.
And big up Yusuf, Sean, Anthony in the building, and Mike, evening to you as well, man. Love to see the support for the channel. Just make sure you're liking that. The video, and we're gonna have a couple people joining a bit later on to the home advantage. Maybe somebody from our way team might come as well, but who knows? Long story short, first I'm just gonna kick it off with the home side of things. Lee, I know you're not feeling like great right now, but are you gonna be feeling great Saturday afternoon when that final whistle blows at 2:30?
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, this is the first game that I can say for the North London derby where I'm not nervous. I genuinely ain't nervous. I think before the injuries or potential injuries that we've heard of today for Spurs, I still had a bit of confidence. And I mean, look, hearing now the possible injuries, I think I'm more exuberant with this kind of scoreline that I think it's going to be. Look, the way we're playing, the manager that we've got, the team, the ethos that we've got, the style of play we've got, all of these things, for me, I just feel like there's only one winner. Look, for me, I don't know if the way Spurs are playing is actually a thing. Look, we know what they're going to do. We know how they're going to play. We know the manager they've got. And I don't feel like Spurs, the way they're playing, is actually a negative thing. That's the way they're playing. They're getting results, and you can't kind of fault it. But I do think that you're going to see quality. You're going to see a quality team that they're playing against. And Spurs only have one way to kind of beat us. And I think it's that counter-attack, in my opinion. I don't feel like they have the guile. I don't think they have the quality of player to really unlock a top quality defense at this moment in time. And I don't think they have enough to beat us in terms of going forward. You've seen what happened to us when we played Brentford last season. We got our 3 points as a redemption. Crystal Palace last season, we got our redemption. And you saw what Arteta did in the video for Amazon Prime, all or nothing, which was mostly nothing. And now look, like for me, I'm excited, man. Like I'm going to the game, and I'm not going to say my score prediction, but listen, I'm very confident that we're going to get 3 points, man.
What about you, George, man? Are you in agreement with that? Like, you're also going to the game. So
yes,
from your perspective of the way Tottenham been playing, you can say they ain't been playing the best, right? Anyone can admit that. Conte plays some shit football at the moment, but it doesn't mean he's always going to stay like that. Is this just a way for everyone to actually put some respect on Spurs?
Yeah, I think the respect will come. I think we've definitely not been playing well. That's a given. Every Spurs fan will tell you for a fact we've not been playing well. But the thing is, what's different for us now is obviously we're getting the points in comparison to previous seasons. Like even looking at last year, anytime we've not played well, we've lost all the games. Like looking at the teams we faced to start the season, those exact fixtures last year, we pretty much lost them all. So I think it shows a bit more resilience this time around, that we can still find the ways to get the wins or the points and whatnot. But I think Sonny getting in goal scoring form definitely helps big time. Him scoring, getting a hat-trick against Leicester, he scored twice for career as well in the international break. I think that's going to make the big difference, because at the moment we've sort of been playing with one half of the best duo in the Prem so far this season. But yeah, it's a tough one. Injuries is definitely a big talking point, I think, for both sides as well. So it's yeah, it's going to be a tough one, tough game.
So I'm not going to ask for no predictions though, Booge. Yeah, but obviously you're massive Arsenal. I don't think you ever concede to ever say that, you know what, Tottenham have some fight in this game to even get a result, man. What are we saying?
You know what? Leading into other years, it's a derby, so anything goes. But other years, we've come into these games very differently. Like it's all like something to prove, not in form. We've come into this one in form.
Yeah.
So going by that, take away the derby out of it, and it's Tottenham at home. Let's be real. Like they don't do anything at our place. Like when 10 years is it? So that as well.
12.
Man's body language is like, 12? Yeah, it is where it is, fam. Like you can see he's shrugging his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of confident. I'll be real. Even like people like our worst players from liability players from previous years, Xhaka, he's coming to his own this season. Everyone's a year older, more experienced. Arteta's got his brand of football. Saliba's coming, like effortless. Zinchenko, Jesus, like it's all positive, isn't it? So yeah, we're gonna win. Confident.
Yeah, I like massive. And I think even going back off what everyone's saying, look, we've lost one game in 29 games against them at home in the Premier League. Like, why would I not have any confidence? Like, we know what's going to happen. Kane's going to get his customary penalty away to us. Like, that happens every game. And we're still going to beat them. Listen, I know we're going to beat them. I'm sitting here relaxed. I know it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Do you know what? I do hear that on the... I didn't know it was that long. That's mad. But it's similar, like City's record at Anfield. It's still, I mean, let's be honest, it's still not amazing. But the first time we beat them at Anfield for however many years, one of the City lot in the comments will probably say, was COVID season. We just had that. And it is a massive, like, you can't, for me, I said on the last stream, I believe Tottenham will finish above Arsenal this season. However, based on how I'm more confident that Arsenal will win on Saturday than I am that Tottenham will. And I do think Tottenham will finish above Arsenal, but I'm even more confident that this Saturday Arsenal are going to get the result, because I just think it's that going into it. But the one thing I would say is Conte. That's the one thing I would say. Like,
you also
have Tottenham. When have Tottenham had a manager of Conte's level go into the Emirates or go?
You always have to think about it as well, though, Daps, right? And I'm sure George is going to speak on this. We didn't get our 3 Brazilian players called up, so they're going to be chomping at the bit. We've got Richarlison now. Look,
Edu pulled some strings there, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I think he did, but the news is out there that he wasn't picked. All the Spurs fans were bantering, and look, rightly so, because I would do the same thing if it was Spurs fans didn't get Spurs players that didn't get called up. But the optics look like Richarlison starting. He's the number 9. Jesus has got something to prove. So we're going to see Jesus against Richarlison for that number 9 on Saturday, and I think there's only going to be one winner. And look, you have to include the fact that they've played games for internationals where most of us haven't. And again, you're going to say, "Oh, because we don't have the quality."
Mine as well, fresh.
Yeah, look, yeah, and I think Son just came back this morning. I saw he posted. He was around the world playing 2 games. He scored 2 goals. Excellent for him.
They can have some excuses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you do realise that Brazil's games were in Europe. They weren't in Brazil, though.
Yeah, I think they played at PSG. But my point is that they still went away and he still played games. Whereas you know that now this is the last run of fixtures before the World Cup call up. So he has to come in and start hitting the ground running. And again, I just think it's quite funny that we're playing the same player who's fighting for Jesus' position, Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhaes as well, who's going to be fighting for that centre back position. But look, like I'm sure George will kind of put some more of the Spurs kind of agenda towards it, and rightfully so, because Richarlison, he's doing a lot better than what some people say, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I also just personally wouldn't even start him against Arsenal, in my opinion. I think just the way I want to set us up in a 3-5-2, which means that Richarlison's going to be on the bench, which is, I think it's better. I think he's better coming off the bench for us anyway. To maybe rile them up towards the end.
Is Kulusevski out? Is that confirmed? Or
I think it's going to be. He's at least not going to start. Conte wasn't giving away anything about injuries, but I think he sort of slipped up a little bit towards the end about Kulusevski. So I think he's either going to be on the squad on the bench, which even if he is, I don't think he'd bring him on. But it looks like he's not going to be around, which is a huge miss.
How big is that?
Massive.
I personally think it's mind games. I don't know. You know what these old school managers are like. I think we've seen Fergie do it before. Wenger saying, "Oh, Rooney's not going to make it," drawing him out of international competitions, and all of a sudden he starts and gets man in the match. So personally, I agree with George. He ain't going to start, but I think he'll be in and around the squad because you got with the fact that we brought Richarlison in. It's nice that we have a front 3, and there's always that one person on the bench that we can bring on. Whereas if we ain't got that, and we're getting beat at the Emirates, you're looking at the bench. Who's going to come on and replace it in them 3? And if all 3 of them are having a stinker, then we lose the game.
Well, you just look at last year's one. Like we had like no one.
I don't think it's a big loss for you, like, you know that. To be honest, Kulusevski. I think there's a lot of people gassing him up too much.
Kulusevski
is gassing him up far too much. Far too much.
Player for us.
Far too much. Like, let's be real. Like most Spurs fans didn't even know who he was when he joined. I'll be real. Most of them didn't know.
That doesn't mean that he's not good now, though. Whether we knew.
But look, what did he do at Juve? Do you guys know his stats? 2 years.
He didn't play because they signed Chiesa, who got ahead of him. Like there was.
He still played. He's played 55 games, and he got like 5 goals.
My thing is, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, like whether he did well at Juventus, because you got Henry that was at Juventus and didn't do as well. Like,
but what's he done in thingy though? What's he done in the Prem? He's had 6 months in the Prem. 6 months. No. 6 months. Hear me out.
I think people missed your point there. Your point wasn't that he wasn't playing for Juventus. Your point was that he did play for Juventus and didn't do much in those games.
He played. Granted, I hear what you're saying. Henry didn't, Vieira didn't in Juve as well. I know those ones. But even in the Prem, he got 5 goals in 18 games. 2 was against Norwich, who was on the beach. Yeah. People just got to calm down because we've seen like wingers, like Iniacho, Damari Gray, like Andros Townsend, like when you get figured out properly, when 2 men come on you, double up on you, then you find out about if you're a real one.
But no one's found
out.
If he does it another year, I hold my hands up. I wouldn't be surprised.
I agree.
If he did well.
Then again, we could ask the same question because I seen George big this guy out so much, Christian Romero, about like he needs another year to prove that he's some sort of Rolls Royce defender. But at the same breath, don't smile, Guna, because we could say the same thing about Saliba, bro.
George, what do you think of Kulusevski then?
I don't agree with quality. I think
judging on what?
Player. I'm not.
From what I've seen since we signed him. The guy's got the most goals.
It's early doors
since like January.
Anyone can have a bit of form, bro.
No. I think
form does not go from January to.
I think the major.
Of course it does. You've seen like flipping Willock score 7 goals last season, and he shot him for 25 million.
Watching him every single game, we played our poorest when he was dropped.
Willock played well for Newcastle. That's why they
came back in against Leicester. the back post ball that he puts in is second to none. He's going to get assist galore all season. I called it last year as well. He's going to get.
You know what as well? Just quickly, he's playing in a free with 2 world-class players, so it's going to favour him as well a lot. Like, this is what I hate. Saka and Kulusevski is so disrespectful. You know that.
He's not just doing tap-ins or anything. He's literally putting in some incredible balls into the box. He's taking on defenders as well. His ball carrying is the best in the league at the moment as well.
He's played well.
He's a very good young player.
Yeah, I think
with Kulusevski, I think I agree with both of you. You're actually both right. I think the fact that he's playing with 2 world-class players makes him would always make him look good. But at the same time, if we look at the standard that he set last season, he scored 5 goals and 8 assists in half a season. So if you mirrored that and he got 10 goals and 16 assists, we'll be
that's not how football works, though, bro. That's not how
football works. Bro. I hear you on that.
So if you let me finish, what I'm saying is, I know it don't work like that, but what I'm saying is because he set that standard, he has to deliver this time around. So I think he's only got 1 goal and 2 assists. So I agree with you both right in the fact that he needs to continue to do that because, like Lee said, you can't. It's nice to mirror it, but at the minute he's not mirroring it. So he does need to step up in like a North London derby and get them.
But in my opinion, he's not mirroring the numbers yet. Because of the fact that he was dropped for 3 games to try and accommodate Richarlison for him being in form. But then also it's the eye test as well. It's not just goals and assists. I've been watching every single minute he's played so far. And when he did come on the games where he wasn't starting, he changed the game for us. He might not necessarily directly set up the goals when he came on, but he was the reason we were able to carry the ball forward and then created the chance.
He's the only direct player that we've got. He's the only player that will get the ball and think, right, who can I take on?
The bigger issue is, I think, what Boots was saying as well. I think a lot of it, I kind of don't agree with. I don't think that we have to kind of start putting these kind of stipulations or he didn't do well at one club. So yeah, but I do think that the issue that I have is that people rate him more than higher than Saka. I think it's outrageous. I think it's stupid. I think it's disgusting. I think it's nonsense. And for me, when I look at it, I'm like, no, I do. And when I look at it,
overrated, in my opinion.
Exactly. So to say that, I just think that comes from a point of not without being disrespectful, like a lack of like knowledge of the game. And I know you do, and that's why it's more annoying that you say it, because I know you have a full understanding of football. So for you to say that he's, do you know what I mean? Like, that's why it's more. If it was someone else, I'd be like,
I do agree, because Saka's obviously had more time and whatnot. So that's
and that's unfair to say. Me,
but I do think you are allowed to sort of be like, I think this player can be better than I'm talking about right now. I think he could be better than Saka.
Yeah, I'm talking about right now. I find it more annoying that fans or people, not a lot of people, but I do think some people kind of make it that Kulu's better than Saka, and I just think that's like, I don't see what he's better than him at. I wouldn't say better.
They're different right wingers though as well. They play very
different. For me, there's nothing that Kulu's better at than Saka at. Nothing. I can't think of. I'll tell a lie. Finishing is probably the main attribute that I think Kulu, the way he strikes a ball and his kind of emphasis on finishing, the emphasis on finishing is wonderful. I'll give him that, and he's very wise beyond his age, and I like that. But everything else,
I do think we need the rest of the season to see whether he can be more consistent than Saka, because I do feel like sometimes Saka can be similar to Son in a sense of there's a few games can go missing and not provide. Whereas so far Kulusevski's been very consistent with us so far.
But you know what you were saying,
he's going to have a dip, isn't he? He's going to have a dip because he's a young player. So he's got
we just need to wait and see.
He's going to have a dip at some point.
You're saying like Kulo on the eye test, like Saka, let's be real, he's carried our team. It's only the first year now that we have Jesus, Martinelli's a bit older. Odegaard coming to own. Saka's been like running that team.
That's right.
I mean, as a young player, playing with Son and Kane.
You're actually right there. That's facts.
I'm gonna go through some of the comments right now as well. Yeah, big up Miss Firth in the building saying Booze bans. I effing love this guy. Patrick Tyron gets abuse of him all the time. As a leader, I love it.
My guy, that's my guy.
Big up Zohe be saying facts as well. Arsenal Fly saying Kulusevski's actually a doubt, which we were just speaking about as well. RJ saying early kickoff with the thumbs down. Well, I think that proves a little bit better for us fans that are not playing as well, especially Man United. And
that probably helps Spurs a little bit more, to be fair.
Maybe it depends who gets the result.
Normally, the team that's
data,
in favours struggles in the early kickoff.
Historical
If
data.
the sun's
204
shining,
games.
if the sun's shining, we're screwed.
204 games have been played, with Arsenal winning 84, Tottenham 67, and 54 draw. That's actually a lot closer than I
Yeah,
thought.
but those 67 could be from 1970.
A long
You know what I mean? Like, it's not. That doesn't really mean anything, to be honest.
The 1800s.
Pick up Mo as well, people. If you haven't, please smash the like button. Do not forget, if you are in here, I think how many likes are we on at the moment? 54 likes. So you're doing very well, like for like. I guarantee there's about 20 people that are in here that have not liked the video. But we got a question. I'm not going to ask anyone yet.
Yeah. Is it the one I was going to ask you? Yeah, great question.
He says, can I ask you guys what you think of Ben White so far? Well, we're going to ask this guy anyways. He's going to come on. Hey, Gal, bring a friend, phone a friend. What are we saying?
I'm chilling. Well, we're talking about Ben White, the same guy.
We're going to talk about Ben White.
I'll tell you this right now. Out of the two teams, Ben White has probably out of the two teams, I'll honestly tell you, Ben White has probably been one of the most slept on players this season. He's playing out of position. He's absolutely been performing very well. And you know what? People are saying he's playing out of position. Is he really? Because when it comes to Brighton, he played there before. At Leeds, he played in that position before. And the system that we currently play, we play with inverted right backs. So the defensive attributes that he brings to the table, and similar to Tomiyasu, it really benefits us a lot. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing today?
What's happening?
Doing all right.
All good, man. All good.
Just recovering from the.
I spoke about it.
Sure.
So I was saying I spoke about the Ben White thing with Turkish AFTV and that, and I was saying, look, I know that the player of the month, I think, or the nominations was Xhaka, Jesus, Martinelli, and I can't remember the other guy. There was 4 players nominated, but Ben White for me should have been included. I think not only can you think about last season with the price tag, everyone was bantering him, everyone was bantering Ramsdale. They had a lot of stick, and the fact that they've come back and not only just performed to a decent level, I think to an exceptional level at times for both players, but this season Ben White has been immense, and he's done the things. Look, as a defender, you don't want to hear that player's name, because when you hear that player's name, it normally means they've made a mistake and it's led to a goal. And he's been excellent. You think of the first game against Zaha, he got a yellow card and he still kept Zaha quiet. You think of all the other games, like he's been absolutely solid. I was at the Fulham game. He was absolutely like out of this world, the way he was playing, some of the things he was doing on the ball. And Saka was really poor that game, funny enough. And he helped him through. He pushed him through. So for me, I could see Patrick saying Ben White shit, yeah. For me,
do you think he's
just
I'm like, yo, bro, like, well, you know what? I've sent Patrick.
Remember, this is the guy who had Oliver Skip in his combined 11. Just sorry to hot you up.
Yeah, I agree with you on Skip and by the way, I actually agree on Winks. I think Winks is slightly overrated as well. But
no one rates Winks.
Slightly.
Don't worry, no one.
No, but I often hear.
I'm shocked.
He's not even rated. He's not even rated.
No, but I hear Tottenham fans sometimes saying stuff like, "Yeah, but Winks is back soon." I'm thinking that's like Arsenal fans when Arsenal fans say El Nani might not be available. I'm like, well, good. Like that's us. That's United fans saying Maguire's not fit.
El Nani.
Let's not
I pronounce anything however it is, bro.
Let's
Don't
be
worry. It might as well be El Nani, to be fair. But just on Ben White, do you not think that it could have been El Nani, to be fair, as well? Do you think Ben White is better? Like, might suit that role more than a centre back role?
It's not really suited better.
Ben White's not accustomed to not playing in Leeds. In the Leeds system, he played more like a. Well, actually, he done a little bit of a different role. He was placed under Bielsa when he was on loan from Brighton. Yeah. He would play in the middle, but he would play a little bit deeper. If not, he would drive it forward and be like a DM. He could definitely do that role, and he's doing it well at the moment. I don't think Ben White's shocking, but as a centre back in the back four, I don't like him. But if you put Ben White as a wide centre back, I think he'd be more than capable.
This is what I was going to say, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, just because I do think he's had a really good season so far in that position. But a lot of the chat that I was hearing from our fans last year was he is the best centre back in the league, signed for 50 million. He's going to be an unbelievable centre back to then just be displaced and pushed right back because Saliba's back in. So surely that's got to tell you that he isn't a good centre back. Then the fact that he's had to be changed
Nah, that's not. Come on.
At the same time,
Tomiyasu won't fit, and then Ben White played well. I right back.
That was defensive.
Picking up,
I know, right? Just
were people picking up Saliba and last season people were picking up Gabriel. I generally did not see as many people pumping up their chests and saying Ben White was this great centre back.
No, when you did sign, I've seen a lot of people talking Ben White, saying he's unreal. Like
a lot of people actually said Ben White was better than Gabriel last season, where I think Gabriel was better than Ben White.
That's why I said the same as well.
Yeah, same as.
I agree with that. But in the same breath, the majority of the Arsenal fan base don't back Ben White as much as they back
Gabriel was your best centre back. I must admit, Arsenal fans rated Gabriel last season.
Gabriel, walking into the season, majority of people would have had him ranked above Ben White, and that's just a public opinion, in my opinion.
Okay, so long term though, is Ben White going to be right back for the season?
No, he's not. He's not.
That comes down to David's question as well. Tomiyasu or White is better right back against counter-attacking teams like Spurs. Who would you rather have?
Do you know the joker it is though, right? Arteta's got this thing where he's got a lot of Swiss Army knives. He's got a lot of players who can play in multiple positions. The IQ of our players is top notch. Again, not to be disrespectful, but someone like the reason why someone like Emerson Royal couldn't play for us is because I don't think he's got the IQ to play for a team like Arsenal. He doesn't. He's not good enough. He's not good. And that's there's no shame in saying that.
They ain't got the IQ for any.
Yeah, they ain't got it
anyway. This is my point, right?
Got the IQ of a chicken.
But Lee, you're spot on. Yeah, this is something. I had this conversation with an Arsenal fan a couple of years ago, right, where they were knocking Milner, yeah. And I said, listen, and this isn't Arsenal now. This is the Arsenal of then. This is exactly the type of shit that Arteta's changed at your football club. That the mentality, the type of players you're signing, that it was seen as, no, Milner's boring, so, he'd never get in at Arsenal. It's like, you're being mad disrespectful to a player that's won everything, yeah? And he is like, there's this, back in the day, people that could play in multiple roles were called utility players, yeah? And people disrespected them. Pep, Klopp and other managers have come in, and now you look at Milner, you look at Zinchenko as an example, and you look you know what? You can look at Vincent
Ashley Young, Valencia.
Dyer, all these players that can play in different roles, yeah?
No, let's not go that far. Let's not go.
No, but it's fact. You know what it is. And do you know what? In fact, this is the biggest one for me, and the biggest one for me to talk on. Yeah, is
Elneny.
Saka.
Yeah,
I could have called Saka.
So much in the right wing depths. To be fair, Saka.
No, he is, bro. He is.
He can do well in other positions, but
bro, we're talking. I get you, but we're talking about at the time, I believe, when he was playing left back, he was 18 or 17 or 18, yeah?
17.
We're talking about an 17-year-old that can play left back and right wing, right? Because he understands systems. He understands how to transition in the game. And that is
people want to compare him to Kulo, bruv.
Mad. No, that doesn't make him him.
What it is, he's a trained player. He's one of those ones. Imagine if a coach of the modern era gets a youngster and says, right, trains him in different positions. Like the way the Dutch players, like Van Persie always said that even though he's a striker, he got trained to play in every position. Someone like Xhaka is like that because that's what I commend him for. Like people, we might say he's overrated and stuff, but the guy plays everywhere excellently. You know what I mean? He plays everywhere. Like, I've seen him play for Arsenal
at a young age. Such a young age.
Everyone forgets that he's not even 22 yet, and he's played. It feels like he's played everywhere apart from centre back. Like. Yeah. So you got to commend him for that.
That's the thing, though. Like for me, I think about this kind of players that we've got, especially in the defense. Well, even in the midfield, and I even think about when I think about Jesus, he can play anywhere across the forward line. So for me, it's just
Vieira's coming as well. He can play.
Back to that Tomiyasu and Ben White thing. For me, I would much prefer, over the course of a season, to have Tomiyasu there. I think he's a lot better with the overlapping. He's a lot better with the crossing. But what I do like about someone like Ben White is he's taken that role and he's kind of making it his own. He's started to get better with the overlapping. He's getting really, really good with kind of getting touch tight to those different types of wingers. And it's very difficult when you're having to be a centre-back and you have a partner right next to you, and then you're in an island by yourself in that right-hand flank, and you're having to go one-on-one against a player like Zaha, or you're having to go one-on-one against a player like Son. So for me, that's why I look at someone like Ben White and I say he's been immense. I think, but look, we go to someone like Sancho, and what do we think about him? Unfortunately, he hasn't lived up to the hype. He hasn't lived up to his name. And why? We look at IQ of this guy and we're thinking, we know he's got the skill, but has he got the football knowledge? Can he get in the right positions? Can he do all the things that we see at these other clubs? Because currently, at this moment in time, he's flattered to deceive. He has flattered to deceive. So for me, I'm not going to sit here. And that's why when I think about those high IQ, high leverage players, it's really important that we get lots of players like Zinchenko. But look, for me, it's not a problem.
I've got a bit. What you said there is facts as well. Facts, because it's like I've heard I know a lot of Arsenal fans, and they were all complaining about why we're buying players with versatility. But then the open 7 games have proved that you need the versatility to especially when
injuries that might come along with extra fixtures and
stuff as well. Man. The fact Partey can switch from left centre back to playing in the middle of the pitch, and can also actually play further forward, wide left as well. By the way, like it's massive. Sorry. Go on,
of course, I was going to say I've got a bit of a take as well, right? I think the long-term future of Arsenal, Tomiyasu or Ben White, one of them has to vacate. And if one of them is going to vacate, I think it will be Ben White, maybe next season. Because I feel like the way Arsenal play, you definitely need a right back that can get up there. Yeah. Like honestly, you can't have someone that's just going to defend and leave Saka. Maybe that's why Saka hasn't had as much glory as much as Martinelli this season. Is because the right back situation, you don't have a Zinni or Tierney that's going to overlap and take someone else's space. And to be fair, I don't
never really had that, to be honest. For Saka,
he's good on the ball though.
But the thing is, you can't rely on such a young baller like himself to really do what he does year in, year out. Oh my word! But again, I think Saka. I don't think Saka is. I prefer Saka for me personally on the left wing rather than the right wing, because evidently he's not great at shooting, right? But what he's good at is passing. He's good at crossing, and he's good at getting assists and picking out a ball. And I just think from there he's much better. If I want a left foot on the right wing, I'm just gonna think straight goal scorer, bro. I'll be honest, but then there's a whole question of Martinelli, isn't it? You're not gonna take over Martinelli's role because he goal scores. But I just think Saka's better creator when he's on the left than he's the right. That's just my thing for him.
Listen, people, keep getting those likes in. I've got a question over to the Tottenham side, because people have said so far that Tottenham aren't really cooking so far. Look, results don't lie. Same as with City, very similar with City. I think are we on the same points? Still?
Same points.
Yeah, same points. Neither of us, I think, have got going yet. I guess with City, there's this thing that City haven't got going yet, and people are saying that because they know that from previous seasons. But you're not hearing that as much with Tottenham. It's just more Tottenham aren't cooking, right? And then you are hearing stuff like, obviously, Bissouma maybe hasn't come in and played as much. He's taken. None of your signings have really come in and had a big impact, right? And again, people may be seeing that as a bit of a negative. But for me, I don't see it as a negative, I think if you're not cooking, your signings that people spoke about, your signings haven't been brought and thrown in at the deep end. It kind of shows that when the season does get stretched, you've got these players that haven't really, are being brought in slowly, that all of a sudden are going to become very important in certain games. Would you agree?
Yeah, but do you know what? I think it's because Conte has a very, very, very specific way for him to play, for what he wants his players to play. And that's why Perisic came straight in, pretty much, because obviously he's played under him before, knows exactly what to do, and he's come in and he's got 4 assists already, best crosses in the league so far. Bissouma, he called out previously a few weeks ago, saying he's not quite at the level of Bentancur and Højbjerg in terms of understanding what he wants. But when he came on against Leicester, he looked quality. And again, Conte's reiterated today in the press conference that Bissouma's there now, he's ready. That's why I think I think we're probably going to see 3 in the middle.
I must admit, I heard that in that Leicester game, he I didn't watch it admittedly, but I actually heard that although obviously on paper Son had the biggest impact, I actually heard it was Bissouma that was the biggest impact. The game changed when Bissouma
he made a huge difference. When he played West Ham was his first game. He was poor, but I think he was playing in the middle too then, and I don't know, obviously he's not used to what's going on, but he did make a huge difference in that Leicester game. So I think it should be a good game on the Arsenal one for him, hopefully, personally. Obviously, we know what he's done before against Arsenal. So
you think he'll start?
That laughing gif, just replaying in my head.
No, but
is he going to do that on Saturday, yeah? Is he going to do that on Saturday?
If we're playing 3 in the middle, I think he will.
Is he going to do that on Saturday,
Let me say this, George. Aren't you worried about your team not showing up though? Because you guys don't show up in North London derbies. Once you get
at your place we don't
at
show
your
up.
position, because it's the same. It's the same the other way around. When it comes to the home,
I get
other way around. Yeah,
but this game is
but that's we're playing. Where we playing on Saturday?
This game.
No, of course, I agree. He generalised it. He said no. He generalised it instead of North London derby.
There's a difference.
Generalised it. That's what I'm saying.
Being played at the Emirates. It's not being played at White Hart Lane or whatever you guys call it at this point. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, of course. But yeah, when it's at the Emirates, you guys tend to not show up. And this is a real chat. In the first 20, 30 minutes, if you guys don't show up, you're going to get taught a lesson, because Arsenal Football Club, the way we play right now, we put teams to swords early.
The thing is, I've supported Tottenham for like 30 years. So it's like my mindset is already like I could turn up and we'll probably lose it anyway. But at the same time, you know how it is with football. We've all got bad form at certain stadiums. So like with Tottenham, we've got bad form at yours. We had it at Old Trafford for ages. Chelsea was disgusting. But there's always that one time, you know, where you might do it. Now, I'm not going to say it's this weekend, but records are there to be broken. So don't get it twisted. I'm not one of these ones that's going to be running around my living room saying that, oh yeah, we're definitely going to be Arsenal. Because we have played badly, and Arsenal, you know, I'll take my Tottenham hat off. Arsenal probably been the best footballing side in the league currently. So I'm not going to sit there and go, yeah. But I think it's because of the contrasts of the game. Because if you spoke to Conte and said, what type of teams do you like playing against? Straight away, he'll say to you, we want a team that's coming at us, you know, naive, pushing up, trying to bang goals. But then if you said to Arteta, what type of team do you want to play against? He'd be like, well, if someone's going to be static and not press us, then we'll just have it all day. So it's one of them ones, like both managers have got what they want in our biggest fixtures. So anything can happen. You know what it is.
Before you do go, I'm gonna come to another Tottenham fan about his like, don't you think this panel's a bit uneven? Like, would you say it's a bit unfair? Yeah. What about you, Jules? What are we saying?
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Big up.
Oh my God.
Big up.
George, just quickly.
Welcome.
George, you should have heard what Lee Boots and Igal was saying about you, bro. It was mad.
I was mad. They were saying Christian Romero is overrated, bro.
The most deluded Tottenham fan I've ever met in my life, mate, honestly.
It's funny because Igal, Gunali, they know they've both been cooked by me, so that's all it is, bro. No,
honestly, yeah. You know what it is about Tottenham fans? And Jordan's the perfect example. I've got my cousin who's actually a Spurs fan as well. His name's Jordan as well. You remind me of that younger brother who you started going gym, feeling a bit hench, and now you're coming to check. You know that I'm that guy. I'm the older brother. I'm the older brother that will give you that dirty right hook in your jaw, mate. That is what.
Once at Georgia. You know what's bad about that? I had said it. See, I've got two older brothers. Yeah, my eldest brother was my savior. The other one now, yeah. I always said to him, watch when I get to about 19, 20, I'm going to get hench. I'm going to smack you up. And that's exactly what I did. I went gym.
Yes, exactly the same.
I went gym. 21, I was cut. 22, I got a bit bigger as well. Yeah, I was ripped. I was loving it. Yeah, like I said, you think I haven't forgot about all those times?
Yeah.
Right. What happened? I can't lie. My man knocked me in my nose and I got KO'd.
Oh, no, mine was different. I didn't even go gym. I just
and that says a lot about the team you support. Because Gunali, do you know what you remind me of? You remind me of that uncle, the guy that's in the ends telling kids about what happened back in the day. We used to do this back in the day.
In the best, bro.
At least it was true. At least it was true.
You know what you're doing? You're chilling with the youngers now, bro. You're trying to be friends with the 17-year-olds that just
I'm that cool uncle, bro.
That's what you're at now. You're playing Europa League football.
I'm that shot caller. I'm that shot caller, bro. I make the rules. Then I don't make the rules, man. I don't make the rules. I just hand them out, bro. And that's what you got to handle.
With West Ham, Nice, and all these other dead teams. Well, we're back on the big boy table. Daps, we can talk about Champions League.
What are you guys going to do
tonight? Tuesday night.
Come off here.
Do you know
what are you on about?
This is what you guys don't get.
It's just in a moment, bro.
One second. You and your Brazilian fake R9 can go somewhere else. Let's get back to talking about the game, bro. Allow it.
This feels like a commentary
cool setup. Sorry, I'm cool with that, Igal. But I want everyone to remember this. Igal, never ask me about the Champions League again. If you want to get back to talking about the game, never ask me about the Champions League again, bro. Okay.
Who's talking about Champions League? What are you talking about?
George was asking you about being involved in the Champions League this season.
No one was asking about Champions League besides
It was
George.
George. It was George. It was
No,
George.
George was.
I
I was saying
It's Jordan.
George.
It's Jordan.
What were you gonna
No,
do with
I know. And you said you want to move on to talking about this game. So I'm saying, no problem. Let's move on to the game. But next time, randomly out of nowhere, you throw Champions League in on me, I'm going to say the same. No. That's not the conversation. Let's move on to talking about this weekend's fixtures and not should City win the Champions League.
Did I ever?
Oh, you've done it many
This
times,
is
bro.
the
You've done it
biggest
many times.
insecurity I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you've done it a lot of times.
When did I bring up City? When have I thrown
No,
shots?
not now on shows. Anyway, carry on. Let's talk about the weekend.
My man
I've
bringing
got a question.
insecurity to
I've got a question for.
Damn.
I've got a question for George. Yeah, what's the situation with Basuma? I think everyone understands Jed Spence now. I think everyone's clear that my man's just not a Conte player.
Wasn't Conte signing,
Leave you
so, which
fucked
is
up.
really shit.
Yeah. It's easy. It's no point talking about that, man. But Basuma, I would think he would have taken either Højbjerg, who looks quite decent on the Conte in obviously a low block.
So far.
But Bentancur, I wouldn't say he's been particularly great. I think Basuma could take my man's role with ease.
Well, he's the one that normally swaps it between, but this is what I'm saying. I think all three are going to play on Saturday. I think they're both. I think that 5-3-2 that 3-5-2 that we did when Basuma came on against Leicester really changed how we looked, and I think it suits this playing against someone like Arsenal how they're playing right now, because we did the exact same thing against Liverpool at home last year. 3-5-2, Sonny and Kane up top, and I don't know what it was about it. It was just felt a lot easier for Son and Kane to attack the defense against a team that is playing quite high, quite high press with a lot of defenders and midfielders getting forward. So I think that's going to help us a lot if we do play that way this time around. And I think Basuma will have a very good game if he plays, because I think he's starting to get into the mold a bit more now.
I agree with you, George, as well, because I think that Conte, the reason why we've got 4 forwards and we only play 3, because he always wants one on the bench in case it's going wrong. So if Kulusevski's injured and we play with Richarlison and we're 2-0 down to Arsenal, what are you going to do? You might as well accept defeat if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing though this season, and something that Arsenal can't relate to do is we have that option. We when Kulusevski's injured, we've still got another top player to come in and replace him. Look at Richarlison, and in internationals, he's been on top form. He's went away and he's coming back in good form. And even though Kulusevski's injured, we're like, okay, that's fine. Richarlison will just come in. And
I'm liking this.
That's the way that I see it with Arsenal. With Arsenal,
we've got attacking options, bro.
You have attacking options. That is fair, but if Martinelli gets injured, you're going to look at.
Well, Smith Rowe's not got goals in him. Smith Rowe, have you checked his stats? He's not got goals in him.
Smith Rowe's on one point at the moment. He's got a surgery. He's just had surgery.
Wait, has he not at the moment until the second half of the season? So
Kane will get injured at some point. You were lucky you didn't get the Kane token injury last season. Let's be real. That happens every year.
Kane's been working with
specialists.
Reality is reality. He gets injured every year, other than last year.
Arsenal got about 5 token injuries, didn't they? Like Partey being injured at some point.
ESR
was always going to get to this.
So ESR recently, but like, is that going to define his career? Like, we've got a bigger variance of Kane getting injured than ESR as a kid. ESR's just got injured now, but when he plays, he scores.
If one of your
no. ESR whole of the second half of last season.
That's what you having for dinner tonight, man.
He didn't play. He didn't really play. He was on the bench. He didn't really start.
That's my point, though. That's the difference.
But we're talking about depth. That's what Jules was saying. Jules was saying Arsenal can't relate to depth.
Let me ask you.
That's what you said. You said Richarlison comes in, and I responded with.
Can I ask you a question?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
There's a difference between depth. We're talking about top quality depth and just young players. Just before you jump in, please let me finish. If Saka, if he's not having a great game right now, or if Martinelli's not having a great game right now, who are you going to bring on? Your only option is Fabio Vieira, who isn't a natural winger. He's more of a central attacking midfielder / centre mid. Or you're going to bring on Reece Nelson. Reece who? Eddie Nketiah to play on the wing. You're not getting your options.
You know what? You're talking about depth in just one area of the pitch. At the end of the day, we've got better depth in other areas. So, like, all right, cool. You might have a better fourth person.
Listen, I'm going to cut the segment down the middle. One second, Gal. One sec. Quick one. I'm going to pause you just there. Hey, Booze, if you got a gain on your mic by any chance? Is there something called a game? Because because I'm not. I don't know why you're laughing, because you're a bit loud, isn't it? Your mic.
My lad, bro.
Okay, that is cheat. It's cheat code. It's literally. You win every
time. You don't like that.
If there's a game, turn it down a little, just a touch, really. And obviously George is a bit quiet, so it's a bit unfair, innit? Because it's like, I get his home advantage. Don't you can eat him up. Yeah.
He just put the volume. I can see he's put the volume up, man.
But anyways, on a segue before Gal continues, I big up Patrick for tuning in, obviously. So he probably wishes he could be on this stream, but loyalties lie elsewhere. Innit, Patrick? I see where
No, my guy.
Anyways, but and then obviously I just one for a Gal. Faz more deluded than a Gal. I didn't think this is effing possible.
Last night last night it happened. He put himself up there. He went and put himself up there.
Let me tell you something, Gal, quickly. Yeah, you know how people always come for you, bro, all the time. See this guy. This guy, yeah, was coming for Faz for the whole stream. Every single Pep, Triple P. My man.
Oh, he was still.
Yeah,
but you know what?
Stream, I've never met someone.
Yeah, he was still. But
Faz that's not true as well, man.
Faz tried to do the humble thing. He tried to do the humble thing and that, but then there was a few things where you could just tell. Yeah,
he ate him, man. I'll be real. As a Man United fan, Faz, love you, but you can hold it down, man.
I was just gonna say, when people keep saying quality and squad depth, I get it. You guys got a lot of center backs that can play in that back three system, but it's not really that much quality in your backups. When you're looking at the players that come off as backups, say you have your Dyer playing, you have Romero playing, and whoever else is next to him. Would it be Longley or would it be who in your first choice back three?
Davies, mate. Crap.
Davis?
I think it's going to be Longley.
It's been great on the
It's going to be Longley. And you go immediately after that. Immediately after that, you go and you say to yourself, the next man down is who? Sanchez?
Lee. What were you?
No, I agree with you, but what I'll say on that is that
you've got. It's not really squad depth in every area. You're making it seem like you guys are this complete team. I
never said it in every area.
No, we never said that.
I said attack. I did say attack.
Okay.
What it is that you say you got defenders with better quality, yeah, which I probably agree with.
I wasn't even finished,
but what it is that you think about it, you've got better individual players. We've got probably. We've adjusted to a better unit because if you've got a better defense than us, and how can we both concede 7 goals then? We both conceded the same amount of goals though. So if we've conceded 7, so have you. So
I think Arsenal have a better.
And we've had harder games.
Arsenal have a better first 11. You guys might have like a couple.
First 11.
Yeah, I do. I feel like we have a better first 11.
I'll be honest with you then. Be honest with me then. Who in your team is world class?
I was getting there. I was literally about to get there, but you beat me there.
Okay.
You guys have world-class players in the sense that we don't have necessarily players of the level where they're renowned across the world like you guys do. You guys have Harry Kane and
that's why they're more vulnerable as well.
I think it's balanced. That's what I'm saying.
I think we have a more balanced team. When our first 11s are both fully fit, you look at Arsenal's first 11 and you say to yourself, they're really sorted in every area. Where you look at Tottenham, you still have certain areas where you're vulnerable. You look at your right back situation, you say to yourself, you know what, it's not all that. You go to your midfield, yes, Højbjerg and Bentancur have been playing amazing. So I'll give it to you there. Your front three, really good. You still have
only really all right back position that isn't. Yeah, but Dyer in this system is playing extremely well the last year and a half since Conte's come in.
You still have guys who are questionable. If our first
you are right. You are right. To be fair, you are right.
11 is playing. I don't feel like you can question too many positions and be like, "Yo, that is the weak link. That is the weak link." I feel like everyone in our team is questionable.
I want to go to Lee. I want to go to go on Lee. I was going to say I want to go to Lee quickly. I'll go to Lee first. Then go on Lee.
No, you know, for me, and again, like, I don't think Spurs fans come across, and they mean to come across, but they come across like they're this big team. They've got all this amazing depth. They're this, they're that. But when they come to their predictions, they never back their team. So for me, I'm just a bit like, where it's almost an oxymoron. Where do we get the balance? I know I'm confident that we're gonna win the game, not only because we're at home, because I think we're the actual better team. It doesn't matter if we don't have world-class players, because I believe that some of our players overall are better than yours. Someone like, again, this season, Son's not played well this season. He played well in one game, maybe 2 games. I think one of the Champions League games he actually played all right in. But it doesn't mean that we can't actually put a Martinelli up there this season as being a positive for Arsenal. So when it comes down to it, it doesn't necessarily matter about this whole world-class thing. And for me, I find that whole rhetoric, I find that whole story where Spurs have 2 or 1, in my opinion, one world-class player to be the forefront of their team, because he's been at Spurs and he never beats Arsenal away, apart from in I think the Carabao Cup that one time. For me, as I said to you, look, I'm very confident. I know we're going to win that game on Saturday. It doesn't matter. I'm annoyed that Kulu's not playing because he would have got dealt with anyway. And that's the chest I'm coming with. That's how confident I am.
No.
Because I don't want Spurs fans to come with excuses. I don't want Spurs fans to come and say, because when we do beat them, ultimately, I want to know what their excuse is going to be again. Because they've got Conte. So if you've got Conte, this magician that can do this and can do that, then where is the chest? You lot will know and say, you lot can say, when we played Man United away, I came with chest because I felt the manager and the team had made a step forward that there was no more excuses anymore. But with Spurs, it's always something. It's always something with them. And I want to know now, when is it going to stop? And when are you going to start backing your team? Because right now, you lot got all your arms, but you got no chest. You can't back your team.
I'm backing my team. If
I even want to back it,
I'm backing it. I'm backing it. I'm already.
Hold on. I'm going to give you 1 minute each. We'll start from the top and work because he's challenged all three of you to back your team. So people keep smashing lights. George, over to you first. Back your team.
Yeah, but what I say, you can still back your team and be realistic in the sense that this is a very tough fixture for us. Like I can admit that this is a tough fixture, given what we've said before. That whatever you said, once in 12 years or however long it's been since we've beaten you there. But then it works in the reverse fixture. Then you guys really struggle at our ground. And when it comes to that fixture, I will be a lot more confident. What I can say is we have definitely massively improved from when we played you guys away last year. And I definitely feel more confident about the game. But I can still be real in myself and say that I would happily take a draw right now. In the way the season's gone so far, I will happily take a draw right now. Because I do think we've improved. I think you're not going to batter us like you lot keep claiming you are. I think the issue is it's very even. You guys so far from what I've seen this season, you have a very, very strong first half. You go out and then second half, you completely step off the gas. For us, it's been the complete opposite. We've been very slow starters, but second half, we've changed a lot. So I think it's going to be very even in that sense in those games. I do think Kulusevski is a big miss for us. But like I said, with the formation that we're playing, I think we're going to play the three in the middle anyway. And I think it's going to help counterattack you guys. So I'll prefer a prediction now. Then I'll probably say a two or draw. But that doesn't mean I'm not confident in my team. It's a tough fixture. I can admit that.
And I respect that massively. Just before we move on to Jacob, the next question, really one-word answer. Will you? But this proves that I know you will back your team. Do you believe that Tottenham will finish above Arsenal, George?
100%.
Right, lovely. Jacob, your turn. And don't worry, Arsenal fans. You have one. I'll scare yourselves. Don't worry.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to say this.
Get your minute in.
To win.
Yeah, have your minute now. A minute to wax lyrical.
I think we're going to win this game 3-1. And the reason being, as George said, we start games hot and early. And if we start the game hot and early and Tottenham do what they always have been doing when they come to our ground, which is have a slow start, give us an early lead and throws their tactics completely out the window because then they can't counterattack us because we already have a comfortable lead, then I think the same thing's going to happen again this season. We're going to win this game. It's quite convincingly 3-1. But yeah, have yourselves a wonderful day, guys.
Love. People, make sure you follow Igal. And Igal's got a show after this as well, so head over to Igal's channel. Right, Jacob, I'll take you in now. We'll do it this way. Jacob, I'll take you in next. So ultimately, yeah, we're coming towards the end of the show now anyway. So Jacob, obviously the Arsenal man, I'm not going to lie, they've got chest. I get, it's the same as with me as a City fan towards United fans. It's at the Etihad. We're champions, so I feel confident, but United fans feel confident. I get why the Arsenal fans are confident, but I know that you're not expecting anything less than 1 point, right? Or are you expecting all 3 points?
This is it. So I agree with Lee because I know so many Tottenham fans that kind of, are doom and gloom. But for me, I've backed the team. Like I've got a podcast I'm going to post later to back it. That even though we might turn up at the Emirates and play shit, I've got a feeling we're going to win. And it's been a long time. So form suggests we won't. So obviously, when you think about it with your head, you're like, hold up. The last time was Kabul. Do you know what I mean? So you think to yourself, that was a long time, man. But I've just got something in my chest. And for me, my best friend supports Arsenal and he lives down in Essex and I live in Wolverhampton. I've invited him to my yard to watch the game. That's how confident I am.
Yeah, but I don't do that. I'm considering.
Yeah, I don't like. I ain't watched the NLD with him for like 20 years. Like he's my best friend. But like the week before the game, we don't talk to each other. It just comes natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's my brother, but I don't talk.
If I can't get to Manchester on Sunday because the trains are fucking up again, I'm thinking maybe I might invite a couple of United fans around here because they're so confident. I just feel like we need to.
Does anybody know this? Good question. When was the last away win in any
Rosicki scored?
Rosicki. I was talking about this today as well. Rosicki.
Yeah, you
mad.
Yeah,
first minute.
United.
Yeah.
The way City and United.
44 seconds.
Yeah, that's it. It's a banger. Absolutely ridiculous goal, man.
Right.
Right.
I'll take it, man. I'll take that one. I've heard worse.
We'll move over to you. We'll move over to you. How confident are you that Arsenal will get?
Yeah, I said it already. I'm gonna win, man. 3-1. Light work. The thing is, obviously, it's Conte, so they can definitely shit out a win. Like you've been doing it all
So you're
season.
not as
really.
confident then. Deep down, you're not as.
No, I mean, like it's Conte, innit? And we know what he can do, so you can't be foolish. But I think we're coming into this game in a better position than we have in the other years, and we've dominated those games. So looking at it like that, I think we're going good stead. It's a game of football, but yeah, if things go to plan, we'll win the game.
And a derby, that's clear as well. All right, and George, what you say?
Bro, I've been. I have to listen to this rubbish.
I know you already think you're winning the Champions League this season, innit?
No. I haven't said no Champions League shots. Don't attach me to that one. That was Deji. I haven't said no league or Champions League.
You ad-libbing? Were you ad-libbing?
Nah, not Champions League shots. I'm Gooner, you can't even laugh. You're not in those competitions, bro. Don't even laugh or cheese when we talk about Champions League. That's a competition that you guys just step to the side and allow us to talk about. But as these guys be saying, I'm actually confident going into this game. People can talk about all these past stats and so on. Yes, they are real. The home team usually wins. We get that. But Conte's here to make change. Conte has made a lot of change. We're a new team now, a different team. And as Jacob highlighted earlier, the way that we play to Arsenal's weaknesses, and I feel like we're going to exploit them just the way that Manchester United did. We're going to exploit them on the counter-attack and in the transition, and Arteta's going to be too stubborn playing that high line, and I just don't think that they have enough in attack to break down our defense. Far too many times teams have struggled to create chances against us, so I expect a win. I expect to go there and win. I expect us to go there and do some business. It's not going to be easy. It's a North London derby. There's no way that we're going to go there and batter them. They might dominate the game, but as I was saying, I think we're going to go there, win 2-1. But I just don't want to hear none of this stuff after the game that we dominated the ball, we kept possession, we beat you in the first half. Just like they did against United, just like they did against City. They talk about all this time that they dominated the ball, they dominated possession. Let's talk about the result. So when we go there and win, all I want to hear is the result and what happened at the end of the game and who walked away with the 3 points. Not about any of this ball dominating or champagne football, because I don't care about it. I care about results. That's what we're in this business for.
I'm gonna say something quick as well, Lee. I know you're hungry and you've been streaming nonstop. So and just in general too. But on that note, it's just like sometimes, well, it will happen. To think there will be a point where someone loses somewhere, right? Like the 17-year record now at United, you will beat us at Old Trafford at some point. Spurs will beat you at the Emirates at some point, and vice versa. By the way,
we eventually beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, with this Arsenal team, you man are confident in it. I don't disrespect Arsenal as a club, but you fans make me sick personally. But at the same time, Spurs chest like Spurs is not. I don't know why you man are laughing, because you man have got so much chest. It's unreal. But and that's what I'd rather a draw as a neutral fan. But at the same time, I'd rather Spurs win at Arsenal just because of you man's fans. But obviously, my prediction, I'm just going to say out there, I'm going to say 2-2. But actually, no, you know what? No, I can't lie. It's going to be a dead up 1-1. But
oh, it's never dead. It's never dead. The best game.
No, when I say no, I just don't think there's going to be enough goals due to Conte's system. But against Arsenal's. But yeah, what are you saying, Lee, man?
I mean, I'm going to keep it easy, man. We're going to show them that they're the pretenders. Like, they're not a serious team. They're not a serious club at this moment in time. I'm going to go 4-1. I'm going to go 4-1. I said 3-1 last week on Coppish, but I'm going to go 4-1. I just don't think they're as good. I don't think these people are working out. And I think the quality that we've actually got, we'll show it. Like, I think people keep saying that we're not good enough, or our first test we failed. We've got another test against the top 6 team. And then we've got one next week.
No, you passed your second test. Your second test was bouncing back, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. I think everyone keeps moving the goalpost against us. So my last thing I'm going to say is we've got Spurs, Liverpool, and Leeds. This is going to be the easiest one out of those 3 games, and that's
you're lucky. Your game against us got moved, by the way. You're very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky, bro. Well, me last, I guess. So I said at the top of the show, I said that I think it was on this show. I said that I do think Tottenham will finish above Arsenal this season, but I do also think more confidently that Arsenal will win this game. I see it being 3-1 Arsenal. I'm going to be honest. I think 3-1 Arsenal. But the one thing I'd say is
Antonio.
It's the Emirates is too much, bro. I sense it even in your fan base.
We've got ultras now. Like,
you know what?
The joke, when you go to the
remember when we
stadium,
first,
you see our fans.
remember when we first met and I told you I feel like you wear that red strip underneath that blue shirt. I'm seeing it now.
Listen, the shit I have to take off from all you Tottenham. Listen, you Tottenham fans get a couple of results against us, and I have to take it off you all the time. Truth be told, like you and Arsenal are not in my conversation or my radar, right? Apart from 4 times a season, and those 4 games, to be honest, it's like 2 we're going to drop points against Tottenham, and 6 we're going to win against fucking Arsenal. It's we know how this goes. We beat Arsenal every time and we drop points against Tottenham every time. So it is what it is. But I do think you're going to finish above them. I think Conte is going to be too much. The one thing I would say is one of the panel said it tonight. We could see a Conte shithousery, and he could do it like. He could. Thank you, Kat.
Turn up and stink out the place. I hope he does as well. I imagine
it'll be funnier if we just
and if it's effective.
If we go toe to toe with Arsenal, then I think it's a problem because they are playing some good football and they press really well. If he goes there and stinks the place out, we could easily go and get a 2-0.
He's not going to go. He don't even go toe to toe with teams at home, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
That or whatever.
Yeah,
that's it's just dusty football, isn't it? Like obviously it's a results business, but we all know Spurs' football is dusty. Like their trophy company.
Sorry, and as for RJ, I don't know how old
fan,
you
by the way.
Bro. I couldn't give a shit what fan he is. I don't know how old you are, bro, but if I was made in 2011, how can I be your father, brother? Anyway, carry on.
Old damn. But yeah, I think we're gonna end things there as well. I big up the panel. Do check out the socials in the description. If you go down on your phones, it will say more. So if you want to see Lee, want to see more of George with his bad boy last name Achilea. If you want to see more booze on his TikTok, up and coming on YouTube now as well with his shorts. What's it called? The one up top? Is it the one up top with
jokes?
The one up top with Jacob as well. Big up him for coming on, and obviously George. Every time, wonder when he's going to get his own channel going to be growing. I do wonder, but we're going to be going on Copish. So 4 of us are in here right now. The 4 of us alongside Lewis. I just want to get onto Lewis for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. But catch us catch us tomorrow. We're going to be doing a Q&A as we done last week, which some of you guys did enjoy. So we'll be back tomorrow evening with that. But other than that, big up the panel.
Thanks to everyone for joining us.
Anybody?
In a bit, man.
Smash the likes on the way out, man.
Nice people.
Make sure you smash that like, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Like button's important, so don't forget it, man. So yeah, big up everyone that was here.
Yeah, smash up.